YouTube, it's Tone, back with another one. This is the same one that I just did, but I gotta do it over because somehow my fucking microphone was fucked up. That just sounded like I was underwater, and I already mumble, so with a fucking low mic and a fucking mumble, that shit went nowhere fast. So, you know, whoever already saw this shit is gonna be, you know, I'm gonna say a couple of different things and add some shit in here too as well that I forgot to mention. So this here is a little decoding to ORH positive bloodline, right? And so this is what the numbers came up with, and this is what I pulled out of it, right? Because you got to make the connections as best you can, because otherwise it's just a bunch of words, right? So here we go. So you got here ORH positive bloodline. It says the king lives, get smart, one ring to rule them all, right? So what's that, fucking Lord of the Rings or some shit like that? They're talking about the old bloodline. So don't listen to the clock, because time is not real, right? Father Sky, Mother Earth, right? Plant Terre Electrique. This is French for electric planet. And then you got the matrix is all around. Then 93 gigahertz, right? 93 comes to 12. You know, these words also speak on the sun too as well. So La Solide de Jesus Christ, that is the son of Jesus Christ, the literal son, S-U-N. So 33 yard line, are holding fast to Yahweh, extraterrestrial matrix, right? This is what you're looking at, because what the fuck? And I'm going to tell you, like, when I get into the different bloodlines and shit, in this decode, I only do ORH positive and then ORH negative as well, to show you the difference in that one of us is fucking clone. You know what I'm saying? One of us is fucking clone. So, and I'll tell you which one I think it is. So then Revelations 13:18 and the Supreme Architect as well, right? Just had to throw that the fuck in there. Oh, brother, where art thou? O being the ORH positive, the old brother. You know, they add a lot of shit in and take things out to fit their narrative. And you know, it only takes one word in the whole sentence to change the whole narrative or context of a book or sentence, paragraph, whatever it is, right? So think about that, how many times there's always a new Bible coming out. Now you have to know that it's not the same Bible, because in order for a new version to come out, it has to be 40% different. That means that all the different versions of the Bible are 40% different, right? One word here, comma here, period here, question mark here, right? Shit like that. So, and it changes the whole fucking context of the goddamn book. Which one do you have? You know what I'm saying? So positive and negative. So both ORH positive and ORH negative and shit, right? So speaks on that, because O is everything ultimately. It represents time and everything. Like why you say, you know, it says don't listen to the clock here. And why you think a clock is a circle? Because that's what time is. It's a circle, and it meets right back at fucking 0 point. And that's what it is. So fucking time loops. And so you got Allah is the greatest, right? Everything is connected. The Onassis bloodline, Lucifer, Jesus, Jehovah, it's all the same shit. Do not contact me, Satan, including many criminals, and then mind control programs. And so you know that O is one of the most people that are locked up and shit like that too, is because they try to keep everybody from repopulating the earth with the old bloodline, right? Which is the dominant bloodline too at that. So it's not a fucking recessive bloodline. I don't see how that could have been the one that was created. So, well, the one that was cloned anyway, should I say. So then we'll go to the next slide. It says who was a clone, right? So who was a clone? ORH negative, Oxford, Maine, 3/5 of a man, right? Like it talks about in the Constitution. It speaks on the 3/5 of a man. Only when they got their hands on it, they made it seem like they were talking about the darker people. And I'm actually ORH positive, just so you know, which is why I have an interest, obviously, in trying to figure out what the fuck is going on with the bloodline in general, and then who is the negative, right? So they were talking about the 3/5 of a man, and that's the ORH negative. It's fucking right here, numerical value on all 4 fucking ciphers. You know what I'm saying? Shit don't usually hit like that. When it hits like that, that shit hits different. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Argue with it if you want. And then you got the fame and fortune and the Pope Clement. Like I said on the last slide, I don't know him personally. I couldn't speak on it, but the numbers here point toward him probably being a clone, which I would imagine that to be the case, because they make the ORH negative people for the purpose of possessing them, and so those are for the unhealed souls that linger the earth and shit like that. That you see here is demons and fucking ghosts and shit like that. And what they are is just essentially like static electric beings that need a body to fucking inhabit, and so they can inhabit anybody with a negative on the end of their blood. A negative, B negative, O negative. They can fucking possess any of those. Even though we all possess these bodies anyway, but it's more, I mean, I couldn't tell you exactly what the fucking chemical difference is of it, but you know, none of us are our physical bodies. We're not that. There is more to us than that. But if you're 3/5 of a man, I would imagine there to be fucking two-fifths short of a fucking Happy Meal. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the fuck that is. And I don't know what the fucking difference is because I'm me, so I couldn't speak on what it's like to be somebody else. So, and then you had Revelations 13:18, which was part of that list there. It's it matches with ORH positive bloodline, and what it says here is here is wisdom. Let him that has understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666, right? And so what that stands for is proton, neutron, electrons, and that's what these physical forms are made of. And 666 comes to carbon 12, right? Carbon 12 is silica, and then 12 is also the sun, right? So, and you can go as deep as you want with that too, because I mean, you know, if you break the number down, multiply it, divide it, and shit like that too. I mean, you can go crazy with the numbers. I fucking like them because I have an imagination and creativity, so you know it allows that to grow. And then you start to see all the possibilities because it forces you to think outside of the box, which is what you got to do if you want to fucking create a new reality. You have to think outside of the paradigms or boxes or limits that they programmed you with, right? It's the only way you're going to be able to manifest something different than they want you to, is by thinking different than how they taught you to. That's thinking outside the box. So then you got 93 gigahertz, right? So right here you have a 1 gigahertz chip, and it says that the 1 gigahertz computer completes 1 billion clock cycles per second. So here 1 gigahertz is said to be the CPU clock rate or clock speed. The clock ticks with a pulse action of 1 gigahertz, 1 billion clock cycles per second. So we're at 93 gigahertz. That's 93 fucking billion times a second. That shit is crazy. That shit is crazy. But just to show you the type of power that you have and what type of system we're fucking running here in these physical forms, and what they're able to do, process, and things like that, you know, I think it's fucking incredible, personally. So we'll go to the next slide, and we got Travelor Esclavis, or esclaves, right? So what this is saying is, translated from French, to slave workers, and that shit is lining up with ORH positive too. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like a slave, and I'm fucking not gonna be one. So they fucked up already. If that's what if that's what their fucking job was, to make one. Them niggas fucked up. Get your money back. So, but they like to basically, I'm showing you this to show you that they like to manipulate and play with the words in order to try to fit things into places that they shouldn't be, because that shit doesn't belong there, right? So we'll go to the next slide. And here you got La Solil de Jesus Christ. That says from French, the son of Jesus Christ. That's you went, right? It's talking about the son. So when you see us here as the O positive, we all are essentially the sun, fractals of the sun, right? And this is why we're able to use our imagination and manifest so easily, and use our magic, which essentially is manipulating magnetism, right? And you're getting that up. The sun is magnetism. The common denominator between every single thing on this planet is electromagnetism. That means that is all, right? If you're looking for the all, looking for the God particle and all that stupid fucking nonsense, that's what it is. Electromagnetism. The only thing that's in every single fucking thing. So come on, use your fucking head, right? And when you get down to it on a microscopic level, you see what it is. It's a bunch of fucking toroid fields. Light, photons, electromagnetism, the sun, right? This is what you have. So, go back to the list. What else do we have there? Supreme Architect was there. What do we touch on here? Okay, so it has the Onassis family. So it says the Onassis bloodline, Aristotle, Socrates. Onassis, named after two Greek philosophers, went from being totally broke at 21 to being a millionaire at 23. His father's name was Socrates. Oh, that's fucking... Wonder how you do that. Wonder if you suck dick or something. You know what I'm saying? So anyway... Who are the Onassis family? They have a long association with the Rockefeller family. The family is popularly known as the Greek shipping tycoon. Aristotle, Socrates, Onassis founded the Olympic Airways and also made successful business deals with oil companies like Mobil, Saucony, and Texaco, right? And then you have the Gulf, right? And so these are known as the four titans, right? These are the titans that fall when you hear the references in the Bible and shit like that. At the four corners of the world, the four titans that fall. That's who they are, right? And it just plays over and over again. This whole fucking, the Bible is basically a script that they play out and they assign characters to and things like that. It's a fucking script. And then everybody is under the assumption that it's going to happen, so it fucking does. If you fucking think something is going to happen, guess what? You're going to fucking make it happen. So they're using your subconscious mind to manifest their fucking bullshit. You got to wake the fuck up. Motherfuckers are playing you, bro. They're playing you. So here, who is a clone? ORH negative, Oxford, Maine. 3/5 of a man, the creature, right? Because it's created. Can't be a creature unless you're created, right? Fame, fortune, Pope Clement. And if you look at where the Rockefeller family and all these motherfuckers are all the time, they're always in Maine, right? With the rest of their ORH negative fucking clone friends and shit. That's what they do, right? Hang out in the fucking woods or whatever they do. I'm sure they're doing some grimy shit if this is how they get down, right? If I had to imagine. Then you got the Supreme Architect. The concept of the architect of the universe occurs in Gnosticism. The Demiurge, which is basically the God incarnate, is the great architect of the universe. The God of Old Testament in opposition to Christ and Sophia, messengers of Gnosis, of the true God. For example, Gnostics, such as Nazorians, believes in the Pira Traba is the source, origin, and container of all things, which is filled by the Mana Laba, the great spirit from which emanates the first life. The first life prays for championship and progeny, whereupon the second life, the Ultra Keyama, is the world constitute when Eon, the architect of the universe, comes into being. From this architect come a number of eons who erect the universe from the foremanship of the Manda de Hayat. Yo, I never heard of none of these. Or Gnosis Zos, the personified knowledge of life. And you know, the reason why I don't really get into so many different religions and learning about what they talk about and things like that is because they're all talking about the same fucking thing, if you want to be real. It's really just an astrological motif making reference to the sun in different ways, different parables used to speak about the sun. And this is all that they're fucking talking about. And this is why they took, and so this is why nobody ever looks at the fucking sky. How many of you ever fucking look at the sky anymore? Right? So, and there's a reason for that they don't want you to look at the sky, because it tells you in the Bible to look at the sky for signs in the heavens, a new heavens and new lights to rule the earth, right? So you got a new fucking sun, that shit is white as fuck. Who the fuck ever talks about that? Because it used to be yellow, just so you know. And look at the fucking sky, that shit is not the same, right? And I even did a decode on Jesus Christ the White Sun. If you want to scroll down, check that out. It talks about what the white sun is and all that. You know what I mean? So, you know, I mean, everything's right there in front of you. It's how bad do you want to see it? You know what I'm saying? And does it even matter to you? And if it doesn't, then you can just go turn the fucking news on and watch that shit. You know what I'm saying? It makes you happy, but it isn't going to get you anywhere but exactly where they want you to be. I guarantee you that. So use your head. And this is the game of chess. Everybody, you got to stop playing checkers if you want to win the game. And it ain't going to be done playing how they told you to play. Why the fuck would they give you what you needed to fucking beat them in the game? They're not going to give you that. And why would you assume that everything in this fucking world got touched and fucking tampered with before you got it, except your Bible? Except your fucking religion? That's the only one that didn't get fucked with. Don't be so fucking retarded. So that's what I got for you for now. Until we meet again.